Another bad pricing model, followed through with some spoilers coming out that most players are pretty disappointed in, and there we have Lord of the Rings. Sometimes you can't catch a break. When you follow through in your original plan, things only get worse for you. And sometimes you need to choose a new path. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today as we go over some stuff going on in Lord of the Rings. Now, as you guys know, I was very highly anticipating this set, and I've got to say I'm already starting to feel let down. I want to go over the spoilers we've seen. I've spliced them together here in a couple little bits you guys can take a look at, and then of course we also want to go over the pricing of what's going on out there, because a lot of players and stores have recognized there's an issue here with the pricing, and that's where Wizards really should have taken the high road and priced things more appropriately, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's take a look at the first card from the spoilers. I know you guys may have seen these in other channels already, but I like to cover this stuff and give you my opinion on what I think's going on. So we have Frodo, Sauron's Bane. Legendary creature, halfling citizen. White, black, white, black. If Frodo, Sauron's Bane, is a citizen, it becomes a halfling scout with a base power and toughness of 2/3 with lifelink. Okay, so it's like a leveling up card like we had way back in the day, right? What was that? Rise of the Eldrazi, we had level up stuff. It was fun. Fun time. I like that. Black, black, black. If Frodo is a scout, it becomes a halfling rogue with whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. If the ring has tempted you 4 or more times this game. Otherwise, the ring tempts you. Okay. So, but I like the idea of it. The one ring tempting you, right? I like that idea. That play on words is fine. His power level and toughness, fine. No problem. I'm looking at Frodo. When he's toughed out, he's like a 2/3. I'm good with that. That seems very, very possible. For me, at least, okay? He's got the mithril mail and stuff. I remember the movies. I remember. Okay. But here's where things get a little weak for me. And maybe not for the reason some of you might be perturbed. Here we have Aragorn and Arwen. Married. Okay? And I know people have problems with the artwork. I've heard this already. I saw it. I'm going to skip the artwork because it doesn't bother me. That's just artistic license. I don't care if they're trying to be politically correct or not politically correct. I don't care. It doesn't level into my abilities when I look at a card. Yes, I can appreciate certain artwork. In this case, the artwork is neither here nor there for me, but the card itself bothers me. Okay, legendary creature, human, high elf. Vigilance. Whenever Aragorn and Arwen married enters the battlefield or attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. You gain 1 life for each other creature you control. It's a 3/6 for 6. 3/6 for 6. I want you to think, in the movies, how tough those characters are. In the books, how tough those characters are. 3/6? Seriously? That's it? Tell me that doesn't seem weak to you. And that power seems so generic. It doesn't seem special. Like nothing like we just saw in Frodo. And like I said, I know people are kind of really teed off about that artwork. I saw the emails. I've seen the texts. I get it, guys. I saw the Instagram messages to me. But I'm just kind of like, look at the power level of the card instead. It's a 3/6 for 6 that can pump up your creatures, assuming it makes it that far. No, that bothers me way more than any artistic license an artist may have taken or that Wizards tried to force on people that we'll probably never know about. And we have the last card, okay? Now here's our last card to share today, and that is going to be Gollum the Conspirator. Legendary creature, halfling horror. I love the fact it says halfling horror. I like the idea of that. Just the horror aspect of what the ring can do to you. Great, fall on flavor. I'm good with this, okay? And it says, whenever Gollum the Conspirator attacks, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put them back in any order. Then choose land or non-land. Either opponent guesses whether the top card of your library is of the chosen type. Reveal the card. If it guesses right, Gollum is removed from combat. If not, you draw a card and Gollum can't be blocked this turn. I love that play on words. If it guesses right, like if the ring's talking to him. I'm cool with the concept of the card, the power level. It was casting cost, but I like that. Okay, that's good with me. But that art seems kind of lame compared to Frodo, at least. And that's where you have the spoilers. Now, I want to talk about these spoilers for a second because This leads me down a path I hate being on. This reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons. As a Universes Beyond product that I'm psyched and excited to see. When I saw Dungeons and Dragons come out, we were all kind of let down by some of the power levels of the cards. And although we liked the flavor, the idea, the power seemed weak. And I feel right now the exact same way. And that is horrifying to me. To think that I think these cards are going to be lame. That a Balrog's going to be like a 3-3 or a 5-5 or something silly like that. Gandalf's going to be like a 3-3. Maybe a 4-4. Like, to think Frodo's on the same power level as Aragorn and Arwen, respectfully, I'm sorry, I don't follow it. He's a 2-3 scout and all of a sudden they're only a 3-6 together when they're both like tough as nails in the movies and stuff. Like, it just gets me. So I don't like what I'm seeing so far. I'm a little disappointed and I'm really excited for this set. So this is already starting to irk me, but now we have all the players jumping on board with the emails and texts about the prices. So let me share with these here, okay? Now, these first ones I'm showing you are Canadian prices. I took these from 401 Games, okay? 401 Games, you can look them up yourself if you don't believe me. Here are the prices. So you have like the bundle pack, the gift bundle, $89.99, kind of like how they did the Phyrexia All-Will-Be-One. Look at the Jumpstart boosters. They're not $104.95. They're $124. That's like a 18% increase just because of the Lord of the Rings name. That's a scary thing for a Jumpstart product we know won't be good. But the funny thing is, the Tales of Middle-earth starter kit for $20, I can get behind that. That doesn't seem that bad. A couple of little intro decks for people just to play and have a good time. I'm okay with that particular pricing. The other two seem kind of scary to me, okay? But it gets worse. We get worse here. So here we have the middle Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, Combo 2, a set booster and a bundle pack. $309? You're kidding, right? Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, Commander deck set. $254. That's like $60 plus per Commander. I mean, that's kind of freaking me out, guys. I'm looking at these prices now, and I see what people were talking about, what they were trying to warn me and say, have you really seen the Canadian conversion, what we're looking at? And then you have Lord of the Rings draft booster box for $219. And the set booster is $249. Are we actually thinking about paying these prices? No. No, they're not gonna buy it the way Wizards thinks they are. Earlier in the video, I talked about Wizards taking the high road, taking a different path. They should not have followed this pricing structure. They were basing things, when they said nothing's wrong, nothing's overprinted, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And they're going to keep on the path that they're on. With the right release lineup, they're going to keep going. And the pricing they've put Lord of the Rings at, and Commander Masters for that point, those pricing structures were based on basically 30th anniversary going off without a hitch. But it didn't go off without a hitch. We hated the pricing. We freaked on you. And now you're giving us these. You're giving us Lord of the Rings, which, judging by the cards I've seen so far, I mean, I know it's very early days, but that's what I've seen, makes me want to stay away. I can pick up individual singles cards here and there. I could stay away. And this is where players are really getting gunned up again. Like, you're irking your players, Wizards. You're making them mad. You're doing everything wrong again. You gave us a great set idea, right? D&D was a great set idea too. Remember Adventures in Forgotten Realms? And then you messed up the power levels. You messed up the actual cards and how we felt about them. They seem so weak and underpowered. And you're doing the same for Lord of the Rings? Really? You didn't learn your lesson? And then you're following through with overpricing, which, unless these cards are phenomenal, which, judging right now what I've seen, they're not. They're early days, I get it, but they're not. Then these prices are not going to hold. And you're not going to be able to keep them at these prices because players aren't going to be able to justify the costs involved in spending $250 for a draft box. With tax, it's like $250. That's like buying 2 or 3 of another box in some cases. 4 if it got like on an Amazon dump. Wow, Wizards, I think you've overstepped where you think the player base is with you on this. I think it's a mistake. And when I looked at 401, they're usually the cheapest place around, at least locally, for me to look at prices. Look at the only one I could find for the collector box. That's on Amazon.com, $384.06 US. And here in Canada, that's $499.27 plus tax. So it's around 550 bucks Canadian for the collector. Now, again, think about D&D. Think about Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate collector boxes. This is where my mind starts going. If I'm going there, some of you guys are going there. Wizards has made a tactical error. And we are so far away from this set being released that this is very bad news for them because players are already thinking about it. They were hoping it was going to be a banger set, and we've seen these things come out. We're all like, ugh. And you're standing back. You're stepping away. Now, I want to know, in that comment section today, how many of you are feeling that same way when you saw those prices? Canadian or US? And you saw the spoilers, and you put the spoilers with the cards, and you go, how does that look to me? Does that power level seem to suit the price tag I'm seeing? Because that's where I'm going, and that's where a lot of other players are going to go. And yes, like I said, people are going to buy it, but I don't think it's going to be bought nearly as much as they think. Let me know what you guys think in that comment section. I got to know what you guys are thinking. This is some crazy stuff right now. And I think Wizards has made a massive mistake. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me on the channel today. And let's hope that this set just blows it out of the water. We can hit up some cards and have a good time. At least get the starter kit for 20 bucks. At least I can play it and experience it. All right, guys, have a great day today. We'll see you tomorrow. One ring to rule them all. And in the darkness bind them. But in this case, I'm thanking the patrons. I'm thanking Lord of the Rings, but I'm thanking the fantastic patrons on my channel who support me each and every day. Thanks again, everyone. That is some scary stuff with those prices, right? Not the prices right. I mean the scary prices, right? Wow. When you actually see it in front of you, that kind of freaks me out. I saw those cards. It reminds me of D&D. I hope people are on the same page as me because I'm getting a little terrified. But thanks a lot for being here. Thanks for hanging out and being here at the end of the video. We'll see how things pan out in the next couple of days. Crazy stuff. I'll see you guys tomorrow, though. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't clean up. Can't pull that over on me. Clean up your mess.